like to open an account, please.
Oh, are you saving for something?
Yep, my money's gonna save the world. We're gonna turn wind into energy! And even make it possible for the sun to power stuff. We're making farms more efficient. And turning gas into electric. No exhaust pipes, see?
We're doing all that.
We sure are.
Glenadine Tanse. My name is Chanie Campbell. I'm Downie from English River First Nation, and I am Métis from the Batoche region. I'm a poet, I'm a photographer, and I'm here to welcome you all to the Downie and Chanie Wenjack Fund Indigenous History Month special for Saskatchewan. This year's themes are reflection, honor, and commitment. Join us in celebrating the unique cultures, traditions, and contributions of Indigenous peoples in the Saskatchewan region as we come together to celebrate Indigenous History Month. Today's episode will feature an opening from Elder Lloyd Carrier, music from Buffy St. Marie, The North Sound, plus Alina Pete featuring Equal and Humble the Poet. I'm currently speaking to you from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Located in Treaty 6, Saskatchewan is currently home to 6 First Nations, the Cree, the Saulteaux, the Nakota, Dakota, and Lakota, and the Dene, as well as considered homelands of the Métis. We have over 70 First Nation communities, 9 tribal councils, and our lands engaged with 6 treaties. Needless to say, Saskatchewan is a diverse landscape, from flowing prairie seas of the south to the beautiful boreal of the north. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello everyone. On behalf of the Downie and Chanie Wenjack Fund, I'd like to thank you for joining us in celebrating National Indigenous History Month. DWF is proud to present programming that brings Indigenous and non-Indigenous people together to celebrate Indigenous culture, history, knowledge, and talent. This year, we are focusing on the themes of reflection, honor, and commitment, themes that over the past year are more important than ever. In May of 2021, people throughout Canada and the world learned about the recovery of the remains of 215 children at the former Kamloops Indian Residential School in British Columbia. Since that time, Several more communities have announced findings of their own, and even more are undertaking investigations. These findings have been a starting point for many as we continue to learn about our history. My Brother Gord has inspired so many of us to take up the call to do something, to elevate Indigenous voices. This month is a time for reflection, time to honor Indigenous people, and a time to commit ourselves to reconciliation. Thank you so much. We are really grateful to have you join us as we celebrate Indigenous History Month together. Thank you. Miigwech.
It gives me great pleasure to be here and to talk to everyone that has been involved in this foundation. We know what we all have to do in order to come together as people in this world. We also know what to do and what to say when we want to come together. In the times that we need each other, we make it a must that we be there. And everybody else that has written to me, all children across Canada, I have read every letter. Some children are wiser in their years. And I really like that. I hope these children carry on Canada to have a better place to live in. I'm glad that I have had this time to spend this few minutes with everybody. And I thank you. I hope in the future, when once this sickness and illness is passing away, I hope to visit some of the schools and get to see the children. And hopefully everyone is well. That is my prayer for everyone, to be happy and free. Thank you. Miigwech.
To start this presentation, we have special remarks from Elder Lloyd Carrier, who's an elder with Regina Public Schools. It's always an honor to hear elders speak, as they have the life experiences in which to guide us through the many different and diverse experiences we will have. With age comes wisdom and patience, things I can definitely work on.
Hello, my name is Elder Lloyd Carrier. I'm from Kaipat First Nation. I'm employed with Regina Public Schools, and my role as an elder for the public school system is to reconcile with the non-Aboriginal people and the students to understand and work together as First Nations people and non-First Nations people. So have a reconciliation role and speaking about our history and sharing a lot of our cultural things that we do. And so we can be all aware as one, as treaty people, we all live together and get along.
Hi, I'm Forrest.
And I'm Nevada.
And we're the North Sound. You know, it isn't always easy to do what it is that scares you. And it isn't always easy to make the decisions that are the best for ourselves. That was my experience about 3.5 years ago when I decided to face the reality that the traumas of my past, which relate to a multitude of things, had manifested into an alcohol problem. And one of the things that really kept me, held in place was the idea of playing music without some sort of substance, because it is something that I had never done before. So this first song I'm going to play for you is called Better Days. It's the first song that I wrote in my what I consider to be my new life. hit the ground running. I've been to hell and back. I've had my loved ones taken and I felt my spirit crack. I tried to find salvation in crowded, rowdy rooms, smiling through the pain and washed my sorrows down with booze. And I don't know what happened, still not sure what changed. When the devil comes knocking, I turn the other way. And I'm doing better these days. Never thought I'd ever make it to see this age. Through the fire and through the rain, felt the same old way. Enough is enough, gotta get back up and hold on to see those better days. Climbed the highest mountain and fought a raging sea. I tried to lose myself but couldn't get away from me. I got a lovely family and I made lots of mistakes, but I turned around since yesterday, so I'm innocent today. And I don't know what happened or why I'm still around. And I guess some of us just need to get lost before we're found. And I'm doing better these days. Never thought I'd ever make it to see this age. Through the fire and through the rain, felt the same old way. Enough is enough, gotta get back up and hold on to see those better days. Oh, better days. We all want the answers and we all want them now. Only time will tell, and that's okay. And I'm doing better these days. Never thought I'd ever make it to see this age. Through the fire and through the rain, felt the same old way. Enough is enough, gotta get back up and hold on to see those better days. Better days. We all want the answers and we all want them now. Only time will tell, and that's okay. I'm doing better these days. Thanks for listening and checking out what we do. I guess my final thought is just to, as cliche as it sounds, life really is what you make it. And everybody's got a story, and it is much less exhausting at the end of the day to lead with love and compassion and understanding, and to worry about yourself and to solve your problems as they come without expectation of others. Take care of yourself, and write music too.
Hey everyone, we're so glad you're joining us today. Together, we are learning, growing, and celebrating Indigenous peoples in the region of Saskatchewan. Some of you may know I grew up on reserve in the north. I had a childhood filled with memories, riding the skiff downriver, learning how to canoe for gym classes at school, playing in the deep and chilly lakes scattered throughout the region. The north is a beautiful place, filled with deep forests, the most spectacular displays of northern lights, and some of the most kind and caring people I know. But I've also lived in Saskatoon on and off for the last 2 decades, and the prairies are such an inspiring space to grow in. The wide open skies, the long lazy rivers, and the wildflowers that grow in abundance throughout. If you haven't been on a road trip through, make sure to add it to your summer plans. Saskatchewan has something for everyone.
Downie challenged all Canadians to do something.
Do something to raise awareness.
Do something to educate yourself and others about the history and lives of Indigenous people.
Do something that improves the relationship between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people.
Reconciliation actions are the answer to Gord's call, recognizing that change starts with each of us.
These can be one big action involving the whole community,
or small actions that help to create daily change, one step at a time.
Greetings to all. I am speaking to you from the beautiful unceded, unsurrendered Treaty 6 territory in Saskatoon. I am Heather Bear. I'm the 4th Vice Chief of the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations, and my homeland is the Ochapways First Nations. I'm a proud mother of 4 grandchildren and four children, with 1 in the spirit world. And I have 5 grandchildren and 2 on the way. So I really do appreciate the invitation to provide comments from the Saskatchewan region. And I also want to acknowledge the Downie and Wenjack Fund for the work that they do. What does reconciliation mean to me? It's about acknowledging and celebrating each other's differences, to understand what happened in the past, and knowing what we must all work on together, so that we have the same opportunities and that we all benefit from the great riches of this country. It's about building relationships with government, industry, and each other, and working to correct past wrongs that have been tremendously impacted by my people. I want to say that I am committed to honoring this when it comes to bringing issues to light, not only of the horrors of residential schools and their continuing impacts, but also the true spirit and the intent of treaty and the significance of implementing treaty obligations. We were all meant to share and benefit from treaty, not just colonial governments. And today we see the inequality because the treaties have not been honored. And until we realize and implement the true spirit and intent of treaties, we cannot achieve true reconciliation. Our nations also have obligations going forward to achieve reconciliation, never forgetting past wrongs, but also mindful of what happened to my generation and our ancestors who attended residential schools. We need to ensure that our future generations celebrate who they are, that they are proud of our culture, heritage, and languages, and that they are proud of our history, and that they have the same opportunities as others in this country. We also need to recognize and lay to rest the thousands of children who never made it home from residential schools, and we must never forget. Our people always knew that there were graves at these schools, and it came as no surprise to many when the story first broke about the unmarked graves. When we talk about obligations, it is also important to note that we are all charged with the responsibility to protect our people, our women and children, the lands, the air, the water, and all living things for our future generations. A big part of this protection is the fundamental role women play in the protection of water. This must be recognized. First Nations women can no longer be ignored in this respect. Much work still needs to be done, and in order to achieve reconciliation, it is my pledge to, work hard in my space and in my own home, in my own community, for the greater good. Thank you. Chanie Wenjack.
The time has come where the women and the men will set a great table, and that table is going to be in the homes of our people, where they will be able to teach their children, the good ways, the language, the culture, the values, the traditions, the respect, the honor of the woman. Our grandsons, we teach them there. It's my vision and hope that they'll grow up to be, productive, strong contributors. One of the priorities moving forward to make sure that there's substantial increase in housing. Not adequate being the bare minimum. We need some substantial resources to address the immediate needs when we look at overcrowding and when we look at, the impacts of that. You fix housing, you fix a lot of things. It's very important when we're advocating and promoting and enhancing and implementing our treaty and inherent rights. And I'm looking forward to the day where we execute and reclaim our sovereignty in a way that gives us real authority. Start looking at the strategies and, tearing down a system that doesn't work for us and rebuilding something that works for everyone. When you look at the racism, the discrimination, and, our people going missing and murdered all the time, we need to put an end to all of that violence. The people that are, suffering the harms, the grieving, the not knowing, we need to be a part of that change and make sure that there's systems in place and that we have response and we have healing and we have community safety and policing that will truly protect all of our people the same way they protect the settlers.
Hey, what's up? Tanse Atlanta Day. My name is Zoe Priceless Roy, Nehiao, Dene, and Métis, a proud member of Peter Ballantyne Cree Nation, coming to you live from Kingston, Ontario. As an Indigenous person, I was almost convinced that my identity was limited to how the government saw me, and knowing otherwise is really empowering. So I just like to bask in that. This is good riddance. Good riddance to the system. Good riddance, good riddance, good riddance, good riddance to the system. Hear that ancestral wisdom. It's all your body and soul. Let the vibrations take control. If it's gotta go, go on and let them know. Good riddance, you're something else, Nehiao, Okamau. The symbol of infinity, the trinity to be well. Mind, body, and spirit. You stay curious, dance, period, like you hear a myriad of melodies to hold you up in your pyramid. The faintest arrangement only you experience. I've gone without hearing it. Fair to be imperious. disappeared into merely the insidious mirror, the nefarious kid who thinks she's glorious, and made my way back to somewhere more glorious. Like, I can't afford this, I think I made it. I like the kind of place that makes me want to be creative, where everything is native, where all the trees grow without being invasive. You know, basic. Translation. Good riddance to the system. Good riddance to the system. Hear that ancestral wisdom. It's all your body and soul. Let the vibrations take control. If it's gotta go, you don't gotta let them know. Nope. Good riddance. Whoa, we gotta back it up. We've been doing too much, still waiting for yields. When racist Canucks still got the wheel, we ain't going too far, we're kidnapped, you hear? How we gonna let it slide? By keeping all that pain inside our mind. Repeat the rules of the game, intensify. Or we could stand up and amplify. Be the answer, be the source. Be the dancer, be the force. Be who you are, the stars are yours. Go and chart your course. Good riddance to the violence you keep beneath your breath. The words you let slip when your heart is stressed. This ain't working in your favor. You're trying your best to make some for the kids, so the kids are blessed. Good riddance to the system. Good riddance to the system. Hear that ancestral wisdom. It's all your body and soul. Let the vibrations take control. If it's gotta go, go on and let them know. Good riddance to the system. Good riddance to the system. Hear that ancestral wisdom. It's all your body and soul. Let the vibrations take control. If it's gotta go, you don't gotta let them know. Good riddance. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Peace and love to all my relations. To O-Beats, the mastermind behind the masterpiece that is this beat. It's your girl Priceless. Peace.
Did you know that the current Canadian Parliamentary Poet Laureate is a Cree woman from Saskatchewan? Her name is Louise Have, and she's an award-winning poet known for her lyrical prowess, her truth-telling, and her storytelling abilities. Did you know the official animal of Saskatchewan is the white-tailed deer? And they are delicious.
I got a song for you. This song takes place at Pie Pots Reserve, and it's just a song about loving that place and the people who come from there. I'm going to play along with the track. This is called Still This Love Goes On and On. And it does. Sat beside a beaver dam and watched the winter grow. Ice was hard with little tracks appearing on the snow. Fog is in the valley now and all the geese have gone. Across the moon I saw them go, and still this love goes on and on. Still this love goes on. Once I saw the summer flowers turn the fields to sun. Up and down the mountainside I watched the summer run. Now the fields are muffled in white and snow is on the dawn. Morning comes on shivering wings, and still this love goes on and on. Still this love goes on. In every dream I can smell the sweet grass burning. And in my heart I can hear the drum and hear the singers soaring and see the jingle dancers And still this love goes on and on. Still this love goes on. Fancy dancer come up north to see some friends of his. Fell in love in a powwow town, and you know how that is. Beaded girls and painted ponies turn your life around. And now you're singing Kisagini Din. On and on, on and on and on and on. And in every dream I can smell the sweet grass burning. And in my heart always hear the drum and hear the singers soaring and see the jingle dancers. And still this love goes on and on. Still this love goes on. And still this love goes on and on. Still this love goes on. And still this love goes on and on. On and on and on and on. And still this love goes on and on. Still this love goes on.
I was asked to do a quick presentation on Walk for Wenjack. It's a story about a young man who was at a residential school in Ontario, and he decided he was going to walk away from the school and go home. And sadly, he didn't make it, but the walk he was supposed to do was about 600 kilometers from where the school stood to where his home was. That walk he took was like walking from where we are now in Duck Lake to Edmonton. And that's a long way, like for a drive that's 6 hours. Just imagine trying to walk that in the dead of cold. Like it was, I think they said it was probably like minus 10, and he was just dressed maybe even a little thinner than I am right now. And trying to get away from a place that was not good to him. And sadly, like there was lots of people at those schools that it was not good to them either. Like I know elders that have been at this school. I know family members that have been at this school. Like both of my parents attended this St. Michael's residential school. My late father-in-law was in a different residential school down south in Saskatchewan here. And my wife was actually also in this school too, St. Michael's. And we all know about all the residential school findings over this past summer of unmarked graves. And to my knowledge, this place, I'm not sure when it's going to be searched to see if there's any of those here. So, like I know it's kind of a hard topic for lots of people to talk about. Like a lot of it was a very hard time in our people's lives. The Walk for Wenjack, I know, is just to commemorate that young man's life. But also, we can also use it to commemorate all the lives of everybody that has attended residential schools. Everybody that has made it home, and for those who have not made it. Thank you.
Did you know the name of the province is derived from the Cree name for the Saskatchewan River, which is Saskatchewan, meaning swift flowing river? Did you know Saskatchewan is home to Wanuskewin, a National Historic Site of Canada? The gathering site currently has a recorded archaeological history of over 6,000 years of community usage from various Northern Plains tribes.
This land is a good land. It's not the land of my birth, but it has become the land of my heart. It has welcomed me generously, graciously, sometimes racistly. But what you gonna do? Giving me a place to restart. But I can see the sadness in your eyes. Why won't you talk to me?
I love you, but you just don't understand, and my words will only scare you.
Trust me. Have faith. Let me be your helping hand.
Okay, let's do this then. You live wrapped up in comfortable assumptions. I live my nerves raw and screaming in the air. They call me welfare. Cernac's budget is threadbare. Brown water in the pipes, unmarked graves, and 60-scoop childcare. Stolen land, broken promises. What else am I supposed to call this but a nightmare? We need to decide to talk, open, honest, and walk together, or this path will only drive us further apart. Get comfortable with your discomfort. This stuff ain't easy to know, but know that knowing it is still more comfortable than having to live it day to day, blow to blow.
That's a lot. I hear you. I never knew you thought this way. Carry the pain deep enough to drown in. Where do we go from here?
I don't know. I don't have the answers, and I'm exhausted. It's just enough for me to get through the day wearing this skin.
Well, I'm here for you.
You are, but are they?
Thank you so much for joining us for the DWF Indigenous History Month special for Saskatchewan. Indigenous History Month can feel like a lot to process. There's so much out there still to share and learn, so many different communities and people to connect with. But it is also a month filled with story, filled with gatherings, and filled with people who want to create positive change. Knowing the history of this land as both a guest and as kin is important. And being open to learning new facts this month is an easy place to start. Remember, we all have a role to play in reconciliation. Subscribe to the DWF newsletter and follow DWF on social media. Find us at Downie Wenjack to continue the conversation, and together we can continue on the path toward reconciliation.